Princess Arya was a young girl, kind and wise beyond her years, with a kingdom that flourished under her family's rule. But the peace of the realm was about to shatter, and it all began with a simple gift. It was the eve of her 16th birthday when a mysterious visitor arrived at the royal castle. Cloaked in shadow with eyes gleaming like burning embers, a figure appeared at the gates, holding a small, black cat in his arms. The creature was delicate and sleek, its fur as dark as midnight, and it wore a crescent-shaped mark on its forehead, glowing faintly in the dim light of the castle hall. The figure, a sorcerer known only as the Traveler, bowed before the young princess. "A gift for the heir of the realm," he said. "This cat is no ordinary creature. It holds the power to grant wishes, but remember, every wish comes at a cost." Arya looked at the cat in the Traveler's arms. It stared back at her with its glowing eyes, seemingly unblinking. There was something unsettling about it, but Arya, in her youthful naivety, believed in the goodness of the world. She took the cat from the Traveler's hands, and in that moment, she felt a flicker of power deep within her. The Traveler vanished without a word, leaving Arya with the cat, whose presence seemed to fill the room with an eerie energy. Over the next few days, Arya grew fond of the cat, whom she named Nox. The cat followed her everywhere, sitting by her side as she attended royal duties or spent hours gazing out at the kingdom from her window. But it wasn't long before Arya realized that Nox was no ordinary feline. One evening, after a particularly trying day, Arya sighed heavily as she sat alone in her chamber. She had witnessed unrest in the kingdom. Farmers' crops had withered, the rivers had begun to dry up, and whispers of war spread across the land. The peaceful reign her family had worked so hard to build seemed on the brink of collapse. "How I wish I could make everything right," she muttered under her breath, her eyes fixed on the dark sky beyond her window. Suddenly, Nox leapt onto her lap. The cat's eyes glowed even brighter than before, and its voice, low and musical, whispered, "I can help, princess. I can grant your wish." Arya was taken aback. "You can?" she asked, her voice filled with a mix of disbelief and hope. "But you're just a cat." Nox's eyes sparkled with mischief, and its voice came again, clearer now, like a melodic whisper that filled her mind. "I am no mere cat. I am bound by a curse that allows me to grant wishes, but at a price. You must be careful, princess, for each wish will shift the balance of your kingdom." Her heart fluttered with anticipation. "I don't care about the price," Arya said desperately. "I need to fix this. My people are suffering." The cat purred softly, its voice smooth like silk. "Then wish, and I shall grant it. But remember, everything is connected. A change in one part of the world can undo another." Arya, eager to save her kingdom, made her first wish. "I wish for the crops to flourish again, for the land to be abundant and fruitful." Nox nodded, its eyes glowing brighter still. A wave of energy seemed to pulse from the cat, and the air crackled with magic. The next morning, Arya awoke to find the fields outside the castle glowing with life. Crops had sprouted, the trees were full of fruit, and the rivers ran full again. The kingdom rejoiced, and the people sang praises to their princess. But as the days passed, Arya began to notice the price of her wish. The once calm waters of the kingdom's lake began to churn and swell, becoming wild and untamable. Houses near the shore were flooded, and the people there were forced to flee. Arya was troubled. She had saved one part of her kingdom, but destroyed another. She turned to Nox, who sat at the foot of her bed, its eyes glinting with knowing. "What have I done?" Arya whispered, heart heavy with guilt. Nox merely looked at her, his expression unreadable. "I warned you, princess. Wishes come at a price. The balance of nature must be maintained." Arya, devastated by the consequences of her actions, felt torn. She needed to undo the damage, but the more she thought about it, the more she realized that no matter what she wished for, there would always be a consequence. One part of the kingdom healed, another would suffer. But she could not live with the guilt of her decisions. So she made another wish, this time hoping to repair the lake's damage. "I wish for the waters to calm, for peace to return to the shores. Once again, Nox's eyes glowed with the intensity of his power. The next morning, the lake's waters were still and serene, but the land that had flourished before was now barren. The crops withered. It was as though the balance had shifted once more. Arya realized the terrible truth. With every wish, she was unraveling her kingdom, piece by piece. Desperate, she turned to Nox. "I cannot do this anymore. I cannot risk my people's lives for my own desires." The cat's eyes softened for the first time, and it spoke in a voice filled with ancient sorrow. "The curse that binds me is one of eternal service. For as long as I grant wishes, I remain bound to this form, to this kingdom. But you, princess, must learn that true peace does not come from magic. It comes from wisdom, from understanding the balance that exists in the world." Arya, her heart heavy with the weight of her decisions, made her final choice. "I wish to break the curse. I wish for you to be free." The cat's form began to shimmer, its body dissolving into a swirl of smoke. "Thank you," it whispered, its voice fading away. "You have learned the greatest lesson." With the breaking of the curse, the balance in the kingdom slowly returned to normal. The people rebuilt, not with magic, but through hard work and cooperation. The princess, now wiser beyond her years, ruled with compassion and foresight, understanding that the true strength of a kingdom lies not in wishes, but in the hearts of its people. And as for Nox, the feline sorcerer, he was free at last. His curse lifted, his power gone, but his legacy forever etched into the heart of the princess, who had learned the most important lesson of all, that every action, every wish carries a price.